funny. Me and you both randomly decided to bust out the tank tops this
I
morning.
know. How funny. People definitely think we coordinated, but we totally didn't.
45 seconds in counting. Let's see what we got shaking here. EVIO going to be watching short, except I'm lying because I don't have any shares of it. EBIO is really the only thing I'm watching short here, as it's the only stock that I got shares available to short. So we'll see what happens on EVOK. Potential over under short at 4, even though we're all the way up at 439. I'm all the way up. I really think we got to change Foos TV to Tuesdays.
I know, right?
Yes, please. Hey, everyone type in chat. You think we should do Tuesday or keep it on Thursdays? Free.
EVOK. This could easily magnet to $3 here. Here it goes. Keeps rocking. No.
Gone with the both answer.
Oh, you fuck. Tried to hit short at EBIO 430. The bids got washed. And I didn't get my fill here.
XCOM, if we get another test of 2, I'm probably going to look to short.
They got filled 3,000 shares at 425 EBIO. 425 EBIO short, 3,000 shares. So we'll see what happens here. EBIO. This could easily form up an F1 and stop me out. 438, which is typically the case when I jump the gun like this. I try to get short at 430. But just a starter here to see what we got shaken. This pops over 438. This could definitely see a secondary run here. All right, I'm out at 440 EBIO. Standard move. Foos. So I just lost a quick $430 here. This thing just had a huge, massive short squeeze there, 424 to freaking 448 in a matter of seconds. So now we'll be looking for a potential FU breakdown, which I should be looking for every time instead of jump the gun. Always. But typically make my money back on this secondary trade.
Ken, usually if stocks are up pre-market, depending on the setup, you want to short. Ideally, you want to short stocks that are up, not stocks that are down.
We typically try to look for stocks that have made huge, massive runs, and we try to get those tops.
Still watching EVOK here. We're basically testing the VWAP.
Yeah, this could definitely be a potential F1 breakout here. Back short, 441 EBIO, and long EVOK 267, 3,000. EBIO 440, EVOK 268, long. That's the fucking EBIO, the fucking secondary. I always get short early, stop out, and then secondary fuck shit up. Oh man, it's so annoying. EBOK. Sorry guys in chat here, this happened so quick I wasn't able to get the alert out there immediately. So this is definitely looks like a magnet to 3 on EVOK. EBIO. I freaking hate you. Perfect setup here. Failed F1. We call this the FU breakdown, right at 438. EVOK, also a potential FU breakdown as this retested that high at 284 and come back down. Whoa, EBIO. All right, I'm out of EVOK, 260. What a move there. So just a $228 loss here on EVOK, 260.
Watch BLDP for a possible F1. This has had a lot of consolidation over 2.
Yeah, BLDP, this could be a potential F1. If this rips over 2, it could be a nice spike, and then if it cracks back below that 210 mark on a failed F1, it'll be a potential short as this has made this nice run. So over 210, watch for the breakout and run here. All right, I'm in 10,000 at 210. BLDP for a quick scalp here. A very tight stop. EBIO, looking for this to come all the way back down to $4 here. Gotta stay under this view app. BLDP. Here comes new highs at 215. EVOK creeping back up here after that annoying washout there. All right, I'm at 214 for $400 on EBIO or BLDP. Quick $400 scalp on BLDP.
Freaking EVOK still consolidating.
EBIO. Let's get them new lows. Up 700 on this so far. EVOK coming back after freaking playing games with my heart.
It's a hard trade on EVOK. Pretty fat candles on it this morning. XCOM back over 2. But once again, as discussed in the video lesson, this thing has a freaking 7-8 cent spread, so it just messes up your entire risk reward.
Son of a bitch. A stack, that's for sure. FTRX also breaking out here. This broken F1 at 135. Now 138 and counting. On EVIO, let's get this crack. If we crack below 411, that's going to get some nice selling pressure here and most likely drop us to $4 in a green to red move. LDP, watch for the potential FU breakdown if this gets back below 210. Here it goes. The shares, unfortunately. It's bad pro.
Yeah, I tried to locate for those 2 foos. I didn't get anything.
There it goes. There goes the FU breakdown. I just tried to short at 210 and didn't get filled. BLDP looking like a nice short here after this FU breakdown at 210. So you can play both sides of the morning flag breakout pattern. A lot of times, you know, if you see a stock that's already been up significantly, an F1 breakout, which I just played here at 210, just a 214 on 10,000 shares, it's $400. You know, you're a lot of times only going to see just a very short spike on these things before they potentially break down and turn into a FU, which is just a failed breakdown, failed F1 breakout. Once that hits below 210 after that 210 trigger, that's a potential short and a reversal, and also a potential over under short at 2 here on the daily chart. So you can play both ends of those trades there. Unfortunately, I did not get my fill at 210 to go short on BLDP. We got EVIO here coming back down. Like a nice short. This is also a potential or a failed F1 breakout. It's retested those highs at 284. You know, I had a nice little gain there when I got long at 268 all the way up to 284, and then this thing immediately just came back down and stopped me out for a small loss, just 228 bucks. And then I came back on BLDP and made 400 bucks. So I made my gain back plus then some. I was waiting for this EBIO to wash out here after losing 429 on that first initial short. I got short at 425, and all of a sudden we got a 20-cent 1-minute candle spiking me out to the upside, and then reshorted once that F1 breakout failed. Got in at 440. Now I'm up 700 bucks on it right now, so made up for that loss and then some, and I'm hoping to see this wash out and break lows today at 411, which will probably bring us down to 410. There it is. Here we go. Here it is. That's what I was looking for. Would like to get more shares here on EBIO. All right, I'm at 408 on EBIO. Came out on top, 550 bucks.
Nice move.
After losing 450 on that first trade.
Revenge.
So I just made about $1,000 on that trade, but after losing, I'm out 550. So not a huge day. 550 on my long account and 185, or 550 on my short account and up 185 on the long account. I basically had to made 2 losing trades on both my long and short account right at the open, and then had to recover from those and make up for the loss. Yesterday was a real hot day. What did we trade? We shorted ALIM.
Yeah.
Yesterday, me and Mike both killed it on this. I made a $2,000 gain on the short right at the open here. ALIM, we both got short, or same thing. We both stopped out on the morning pop. We got short, just like I got short on EBIO. This was the opening candle right here. I got short, I think 175 or something, and then all of a sudden we saw that one quick spike to the upside, stopped out, and then got back in short 180 for 10,000 shares, I believe it was. And then I think I got added here another 5,000. About 170 something, and we both took advantage of this nice big crack to the downside. We had the huge spike down. I locked in $2,000. Mike made 1,300 bucks. ALIM, but then XCOM did me dirty. I was short here at 140 something, right about here. I was short about 145, and I got caught in this big squeeze to the upside and lost a quick 850 on this. And that's what's tough about this stock, is it happened so quick and there's no liquidity. I had 10,000 shares short, and I wasn't able to cover that position. All of a sudden, next thing you know, this thing is up, 10 cents, and I had nobody to cover my shares with because the liquidity sucked. So I took a freaking $850 loss, but I still had that $2,000 plus gain on ALIM, so I came out on top. I also had another scalp for like 200 bucks, so I made about 1,400 bucks yesterday on those 2 trades. And now XCOM would have been a nice over/under short at 2, but we had that gap down this morning, kind of ruining the trade.
Check out Groupon.
And yeah, I saw that pre-market. Fuck yeah, this company still exists. Do people still Groupon?
I know, right?
I mean, it was such a hot company when it first came out, but I like don't even see ads for it anywhere. Like I never hear anybody talk about it. People used to be just like, "Oh, I got it on Groupon," but I haven't heard anybody talk about Groupon in forever.
Jasmine in chat.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. If you don't know how shorting even works, then don't even try to short. You can't short, whenever you want, guys. How shorting works is needs to be somebody that's long the stock, and the bank or your clearing firm will literally let you borrow against that long position, and that allows you to be short. So it's all based off of margin. So if you have no idea how margin works or shorting works, don't short. Because you can literally blow up your whole account in shorting. Where longing, you can't really blow up your whole account in one trade. You could get squeezed out of a stock, get a margin call, and your whole account gets wiped.
Yeah, so those of you that aren't in our chat, we just had someone kind of about that thing or scam because they didn't have the shorts. Well, you got to, like Mike was saying, sometimes you have to really get it with a place that has good shares. You got to call. So you have to be coming to the day prepared. Look at the top gainers at the market open. Say, okay, this thing is gapping up ridiculously, 30 whatever percent. Give your broker a call. Ask them if they have shares. Short. Don't sit there, and if you don't have it, don't trade it. Sometimes there's only going to be a couple of really hot runners, especially in the summer. So call your broker. If you're with the hedge fund, they have awesome shares to short. You can call them as well to locate shares to short, so you can do what we do every day.
Yeah, for you guys who don't know, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. So this is through speedtraderpro.com. I have to manually go in here and locate shares before the market opens for a lot of these stocks that I trade because they're not just readily available. As you can see, I tried to get MDHS pending in inventory, SPHS pending inventory, EBIO. I got accepted 5,000 shares, but I had to pay 0.039 per share to get those shares, but I got accepted. EVOK, I tried to get those shares pending inventory. So a lot of these stocks, I'm not even able to get short. A lot of times they'll just be readily available. You'll look at your account. There'll be a little S in your little level 2 box saying, okay, we have shares. We don't need to locate these. But a lot of these, they will not have those shares. So you have to manually go in. This is a program that speedtraderpro.com uses, quicklocates.com, so you can go in manually without having to contact the broker, and you go in there and you try to locate those shares without actually having to talk to the broker. Speedtrader.com also has the same feature. It's something called Corelli.
That's what I use.
Accounts with both SpeedTrader and SpeedTrader Pro. There's been a lot of people that have been talking shit on Twitter, and also this fucking dickhead in chat just typing in all caps here, and I just had to ban saying that these shares are not available. This is all bullshit, and a lot of people just aren't educated on shorting. So that's something that we have in the works for you guys, coming out with our next DVD. A lot of people have been asking about when we're going to release that. It's all just depends on once we launch Alpha Scans, because I'm not creating another DVD using TC2000 again as the charting program. So we have a brand new charting and scanning application coming out. If you guys haven't heard about it, alphascans.com, we just announced it on Wednesday. It's going to be a killer platform. Basically, we pre-built algorithms within the charting platform that's going to alert you guys of a lot of these same exact patterns that we play every day. And so it's basically going to be a list of stocks potentially triggering these patterns that I trade. And once those patterns trigger, it's also going to change the status of that on the in the application and alert you saying, hey, this just triggered this pattern XYZ, and you're going to easily be able to pull that up in the charting program and be able to act on that trade if you're wanting to. So FUS4 Part 3 is going to come out, which is basically, it's called the dark side of trading. It's all going to be about my shorting, what brokers to use, the patterns that I short. But we have to wait until Alpha Scans is released, which hopefully 2 to 5 months out will be the actual physical launch of that platform, and then I'll be able to make FOOS 4 Part 3, which is going to be all about how I short, how to locate shares, what brokers to use. So that's all coming out soon. But in the meantime, just wanted to explain to you guys how to locate shares, because a lot of people, like on SPU, SPHS, they were calling bullshit on my ability to short those stocks. You just have to have the right broker.
BLDP was a hot FU breakdown, Foos. Washing out under 2.
Nah, tried to get those shares at 210 BLDP.
That'd be hot.
So BLDP is a stock that I was readily available to short. I didn't have to locate. My broker just had shares. Unfortunately, I just missed that trade.
Yeah, and just so you guys realize, I use SpeedTrader, and Foos uses Pro as well, and I didn't have shares, but he had shares at Pro. So it always varies among brokers. So
yeah, there's a lot of people are probably confused by that. There's actually 2 different speed traders. There's speedtrader.com. I use that. That is my main account that I've been using for freaking 8 years or something. I don't even remember how long I've been with them. But they also have an account, a company called speedtraderpro.com, and this is a company that uses a different clearing firm that has a lot more shorts readily available, but you have to have, I believe, minimum 25,000, or they might have lowered it.
yeah, it's like 30, I think.
It's 30,000 minimum to open an account with speedtraderpro.com. So I have accounts with both because I want to be able to short when I need to. Obviously, you need a lot more capital to be able to do that, which is why we have the other option, which is our hedge fund program. If you go to foosalerts.com/hedge fund, they use the same clearing firm as SpeedTrader Pro, which is mainly what I use for shorting, and you only need $3,000 to get started with them. They're not a broker; they're a hedge fund. Robert, if you want to touch a little bit on the hedge fund.
Yeah, we got someone here with so yeah, if you have $3,000, Curtis and all the other guys, you can get started with their hedge fund. So you see, especially in this market, the importance of being able to short and long. Unfortunately, it's not too many places out there is it easy to have a good clearing firm where you can short. The hedge fund is one of them, so you want to look at that. If obviously if you have over $25,000 or $30,000, you go with SpeedTrader Pro. If you have $3,000, $5,000, go with the hedge fund. The hedge fund is not a broker. It's actually a firm that they're a hedge fund. You trade with their capital. You go through training. You get our training courses, FOOS 4 and FOOS 4 times 2. With that, they give you the software to trade. They have a great execution platform, very low commissions, and really, you go through the training, you get the platform, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can trade anything that we do. And you also have the support that they have. They have trade support, risk managers, webinars. So it's really a just a all-encompassing training situation where you get the education, training. They give you a quiz, you pass that, and then they give you a professional software platform, and you can trade all day. You can day trade freely, short, with proper capital. They'll give you $25,000 in their capital to start with on day one. So email me, robert@foosalerts.com. Curtis, yeah, definitely email me.
So this is alphascans.com, guys. If you haven't checked this out, basically it's a full-on multi-charting trading platform. So it's going to be full custom charting along with built-in scanners. We pre-built about 5 different scanners that are going to be built in for starters. You're also going to be able to have the ability to create your own scans eventually. Right now it's just our scans that we have pre-built in there. So it's basically going to be a list of stocks, and then all of a sudden a little trigger to in play. There will be an audible alert, so you can see what that pattern is, and we'll also have some training showing you exactly what these patterns form up, how to trade them, and what to typically expect. This isn't going to be an automated trading system where you just make some money, you have to know how to trade to do this. All this is doing is setting you up for it's basically like a kind of a big watch list, but you have to understand how to read all these stocks that are being listed here so you can actually act on those trades. So everyone, the biggest questions we always get is what charting do you use and how do you find your stocks? So that's exactly what solution we're trying to build for you guys. Is here's a charting platform, and this is exactly how we find our stocks with these pre-built-in algorithms presenting you these potential opportunities in a very efficient fashion for you to trade. So it's a full multi-charting. You can pop out charts, set them up any way you want. This is going to be a master list or a trading log, basically, showing you every alert that was pumped out through the system throughout the day, so you can easily go back and track it and back test it. In addition to fully customizing anything you want, you can pop out any of these charts, set up any of the scans or the news feeds or anything anywhere you want in the program, and easily maneuver them anywhere you want. As well as, it's going to be it's not only just one window. You can pop these windows out into multiple monitors and set it up any way you want. So it's going to be awesome, guys. We're super pumped about getting this launched here. We've been working on this thing for about 2 years now, and we're finally getting to the point where we can actually launch and have a physical product for us and, more importantly, you guys to use.
They don't even know that I'm hurting. This life's not easy, and I'm made out of steel.